$173,000 of the stimulus was supposed to go to Warren County, Ohio, but the county is saying, thanks, but no thanks. We don't really want it. Warren County Commissioner Mike Kilburn is with us now. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Hi, Glenn. Good to be here.
You are just, look at you. America right now is just looking at you saying, here's a guy just riddled with common sense.
Well, you know, I would hope so. There's a lot of people out there who really think that we ought to take the money and run, but you know, I just can't be part of a financial disaster that's going to happen to this country. You know, one of the things that we've heard is the spending that's going to take place under this stimulus is what, $11 trillion. Now, I don't know what $1 trillion is, but
I do.
I come from Moore, Ohio, and you know that's a lot of money.
Yeah, how many Empire State Buildings does that equal? I'm sorry to ask. The amazing.
Yeah, it's a bunch.
It's like Gresh, our producer, is like a god. 68,000 miles in the air.
Is that right?
That's a lot of bucks. Okay, yeah. So Mike, you get the stimulus. First of all, who asked for the stimulus for your county?
Well, apparently the county commissioners never officially asked for anything. Apparently the stimulus group out of Washington put out something over the internet for local governments to put wish lists on, and some of our staff people put together some things that they thought that we might want to consider for stimulus money, but it was never officially blessed by the county. And you know, some of the stuff, and one of our United States senators called us a couple weeks ago. They found out we were going to add on to our courthouse, and they called and said they had $1,800,000 for green projects for new construction. So, you know,
did you take
we don't really want that. Well, we haven't, and I'm hopeful that the other two commissioners.
A lot of fluorescent light bulbs with $1.8 million.
Oh, a whole bunch of them. A lot of doorstops too.
Yeah,
but you know, Glenn, this just isn't rocket science. I mean, you know, and I don't want to be part of a crowd that makes this country go broke. It is absolutely ridiculous. You know, it's like the Obama administration is walking down the street with a basket full of fruit, just throwing the fruit out to anyone who'll stick their hand up and catch it. And we just so happen to say in Warren County, hey, we don't like that fruit or that whatever. And they look back at us and say, well, give it to someone who does. You know, it just makes no sense at all.
I got to tell you, I swear to you, I love this guy. Mike, hang on just a second. Now, hang on just a second, because this is the kind of stuff we're going to do tomorrow. Just regular people. I mean, you can see Mike is just like, yeah, whatever. He's just a regular. I don't mean to. I mean, I'm a schmo too, so I don't mean to insult you with saying you're a regular schmo. But that's on tomorrow's program. It's time for people to actually, you know, schmoes say what they're really thinking and just make it clear to the media and also to Washington, D.C. We'll do that tomorrow as part of the 9/12 Project. Friday's program, look at the Tea Party and the media coverage, what they think about you, and then just set them straight. Regular people, Tea Parties, exposing the lies of the mainstream media. Live audience here. You never know what. We might have somebody pass out. No, we've already done that. Well, we'll come up with something tomorrow. Get your comments to foxnews.com/Glenn Beck. Click on a message from me. I don't even know what that even means. They just put it in front of me, and I read it like a dope. I'm a zombie. Mike Kilburn, he'll be back with us here in just a second. We're back with a commissioner in Ohio who rejected federal stimulus dollars allocated to his county, Mike Kilburn. Last night, Mike, I was reading a story about Alaska and Sarah Palin, and she decided that she was going to take some of the money because there were no strings attached to it that she thought. Then I read about you, and I thought, these are the strings that nobody thinks about. I think they gave you money for buses or something like that, buses to take old people to, I don't know, shopping or whatever it is. And you said, no, there are strings attached to that. Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, there are strings attached to it, but we didn't need the buses. We got 3 buses last year. We have a a very nice transit system that helps take people to the doctor, takes them to chemo. It's an elderly transit service, basically, but we didn't need the buses, you know. And, you know, it just doesn't make any sense to take money. Number one, we don't even have the money, Glenn, as you well know. We're borrowing this money from China. And I heard a report out of the CBO the other night. It said a 20-year-old kid that gets out of college and starts working, he's got to work his entire life and pay over $120,000 just in interest to pay for his part of the stimulus plan. Now, come on, you know, no wonder this didn't get one single Republican vote in the House.
Yeah, but you know what? I have to tell you, Mike. Are you a Republican? I don't even know. Are you a Republican?
Well, I've been a Republican, but I think I'm part of your party. I'm more libertarian than anything at this point, because the Republicans have lost their way too. You know, my little town of Morrow, Ohio, applied for a federal grant last year. Is a $400,000 grant. And, you know, these are the people that put me in the courthouse. These are the people that always supported me. But I had to vote no. I had to vote against that project. And that was long before stimulus money. This was last year. Because we don't have the money. We cannot afford to continue to spend money we don't have. And unfortunately, that's where we're at. You know, God only asked for 10% of our paycheck. The federal government demands 40%. And when we get done with this stimulus package,
it's going to be a lot more.
Could it be 70?
Well, only for those who won't miss it. Anyway, Mike, thank you so much. We'll talk again.